Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today I have another watch review for you guys, and this is by a brand that goes by the name of Tsovet. I think I'm saying that right. It's T-S-O-V-E-T. Tsovet. So, all right. So Tsovet is another Dartmouth brand. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you guys know I've been working with Dartmouth for quite some time, over a year, I'd say, maybe even 2 years. And this is a company that has several different brands under its belt, right? We have brands like Spinnaker, an amazing watch brand that's hands down super respected in the watch community. And I always find it funny how you could take a brand like Tsovet, which is little is known about this brand, right? It's not really a really large mainstream brand, but Spinnaker definitely more well known for guys who follow watches, for guys who are in the community. You guys, most people have heard of Spinnaker and will say, oh, I love Spinnaker, great micro brand company. But then you have brands like Tsovet, and you may get guys who are like, oh no, that's a shitter watch, right? Now I haven't heard that. I'm just saying guys a lot of times don't really, they say things before they actually put any kind of thought to it, right? When you get a Dartmouth brand, that quality is across all their brands, right? Whether it be Duxo, whether it's Tsovet, whether it's Spinnaker, whether it's AVI8, they're putting an element of quality in their watches across all these different brand names. The main company is Dartmouth. They own all these other brands. So when you get a watch from them, if you like one, most likely you're going to like them all. So Tsovet is more of a brand that you're going to see pop up, I think, more on like Instagram. Little is known about this brand. You don't see this brand as heavily marketed as brands like the Spinnaker and like Nubeo, which has been killing it with sales lately. A lot of people are discovering these brands. And I think as a watch collector, you want to add different things to your collection, you know? And I think this is going to definitely fit the bill for a lot of people. What I like about the Tsovet brand is that they don't do any of the price manipulation, right? They're not putting the price really high and then having sales. They pretty much put the price at what they want to sell it for. Use my coupon code, you'll get a savings. They may run a small special, but these watches are not going to, this brand is not going to fluctuate that much. And I think this just provides a little more trust to folks in the watch community, right? If folks who are looking to buy watches, they're not seeing that big big fluctuation of price like Invicta does. And I like that, and I hope they continue on doing that, and I hope they make the change to stop doing it with their brands like Nubeo, right? Because you're getting amazing quality. You're getting a cool watch, a fun watch, and there's no reason to have to do it. People will buy it with a realistic price, right? So $350, definitely realistic for this. So what are you getting? This is the TS4005, and this is called the Eclipse. Now this is done in a black and orange, and you probably can't see it by the video. You might get kind of a purple hue on the face. This face is actually a solar panel. So this is a hybrid, not a hybrid, but it's a solar-powered quartz chronograph. And this is a first for me. I don't have any solar watches in my collection. There has been a watch on my radar for a while, the Seiko Kotora, that is a solar-powered watch, but the price on it just keeps going up and up and up. And now I think they're in like the 5 or 6s, and I'm just not going to spend that. What's cool about this is, from what I read on another reviewer's platform, he had stated that this brand is buying, I think, the movement is like I think a Seiko branded solar movement that they've used in other watches. Kind of like how a lot of brands use the Seiko NH35. Again, I can't confirm or deny what the movement is because unfortunately, like most of the Dartmouth brands, when you look at the specs on it, they just state Japanese solar powered movement, 3 hands with date. So let me just knock out the rest of the specs. Sapphire crystal, it's going to be the checkbox for most. Stainless steel case material, I believe it's 316. 42 millimeter case diameter, 13.1 in thickness. A little thicker than a lot of the watches in this size, but again, I love that. I love when you have a smaller watch. It's thicker. I'd even like to see it be even thicker. That's probably because of the movement in the watch. And then you have a 20 millimeter solid stainless steel bracelet. Again, milled clasp on a lot of the Dartmouth watches. Dual push button safety point clasp with lock, right? So pretty cool design. You know, it's kind of a simple round watch, but it's not, you know, they're not trying to do anything like copy anybody. You know, it's not a homage, it's its own thing, and it's nice looking, you know. Very simple. I like the fact that the lugs in this are kind of chiseled. They kind of have 2 angles which taper down at like a 45 degree into the bracelet. They did the black screw down crown, but the function pushers actually push pull. So I never really understand why they do a screw down crown with push pull function pushers, but you still get 10 ATMs of water resistance. I chose the orange and black. I kind of think that that's a great dive color. Although I don't know how I missed this. I did another review of a Tsovet watch several months ago, and let me just see if it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on. Yeah, so I did their, I don't know why I missed this. Unless they, I think they snuck, sometimes these brands sneak watches on their site. I don't know about it. But when I chose this, I actually chose the aqua, which I believe was out of stock. And then the orange was the second choice, I believe, remember correctly. But they also have this in the neon, which is the pink. I'm going to try to get my hands on that because I really like pink in a watch, and there's not a lot of watches you can get for men that have that neon pink color. I love they did the orange. I love the teal. I would have chose the pink because I have a lot of orange already, but still awesome color. You still really can't go wrong. We have kind of a black bezel on it. A lot of the stuff I'm telling you guys you can see just by the video. But not a lot of lume on this watch, but you do get that, again, that solar panel on there, keeping that watch charged. Now, my understanding on this is that, from what they state, that it says here the Helios, this is the Eclipse Helios, excuse me, it's solar powered, and that it'll generate a 6-month charge from the sun. Now, I don't know, that's probably with the capacitor or the battery. I'm not sure what this has in it. Fully charged, 6 months is pretty amazing. So you can basically charge the sucker up, wear it in the sun, and you'll get 6 months charge of it. This is great for folks who don't want to deal with changing the battery, but also don't want to go into a watch that's an automatic. My dad is a perfect example of somebody who, he has an automatic watch that I gave him, and he likes it, but my dad, like me, he mainly wears a battery-powered watch, and he likes that because he doesn't want to have to worry about setting the time all the time. For me, I don't really care. I'll just wear a watch, set the time, no big deal. But for him, he likes to keep time. And the automatics, he has to, he'll wear it for a day, put it away, and then he has to go back and set the time. Not a huge deal, but I do understand that does bother some people. That's why there's so many quartz watches out there. So, like his Neymar I gave him, he gets like a 5-year battery in it. With something like this, even though you don't have a 5-year battery, you get a 6-month runtime on a single charge. So pretty fantastic. I really like when brands do things like this and put the technology in the watch. Very cool. I wish that they did more solar in other watches. But the only downside to solar is that your face is going to be a solar panel, right? So that's cool if you want just a black face watch, but you don't really have, to the best of my knowledge, any kind of color options when it comes to a solar powered watch. So just something to think about. If you're looking at the other color combinations, by the way, here we have, they give them different names, but we have basically the Aqua Smoke, the Deep Blue, the Eclipse, the Moss, which this is hybrid automatic kinetic. I think that's not actually solar. And then, of course, the Neon, which is the pink. And then they have, several different variations which are similar, but just have they have a GMT. What you're basically getting here on a lot of these variations is a different movement. Cosmetically, it's different with different color combinations, but a different movement. For instance, I reviewed this one the other day, the Pepsi, we'll call it the classic hybrid automatic. This one here is actually just using a Japanese hybrid automatic with 3 hands. And what that's giving you here, it says here that it runs on a battery-free, pinpoint-accurate quartz GMT, which I don't know how that actually works. I think a hybrid auto quartz basically has some sort of way of charging a capacitor with the motion of the rotor, I believe, which is different than an automatic, whereas an automatic traditionally will wind a mainspring. This is probably charging a rotor, charging a capacitor here, like a battery of some sort, but the rotor's actually doing the charging. So pretty cool, pretty innovative. I know Seiko does a lot of stuff like that, but it's nice to see other brands doing that. I like, even though those are kind of things you're not really going to necessarily see in the watch, it's cool to have that, right? I don't know. This is my 2 cents. Price point on this here, you're looking at $350. What else? See if there's any kind of sales coming up here. I don't see anything right now on their website indicating any kind of like autumn sales like Nubeo's doing or anything like that. But Yeah, pretty awesome. I mean, I think it's definitely a cool looking watch and definitely one that's going to get worn by me. I definitely got to get the neon one. So as far as the presentation here, very basic as it gets. Very cheap cardboard box. Nothing to write home about. And I never care much about the box. A lot of times I prefer giving something like this because I know I'm just going to throw it away. You get the instruction manual and you do get a watch storage leather pouch, right? I believe it's leather. Yeah, appears to be leather. Smells like leather. That's about it, really. Nothing really. I'm not even going to waste a lot of time on that. So without further ado, let's throw it in the wrist. I'll show you what it looks like. I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 172 pounds. This is what it looks like on a guy my size, my height, my weight. Again, not a watch that's going to get you, get you really noticed. This is a watch that's very conservative, very practical with that solar panel. The ability to wear this and not really have to worry about winding it or replacing the battery. Remember, all things fail at some point, and I can't speak to how long these capacitors last. Whether you're going to get a lifetime out of it, I just don't know. But it'll be interesting to see several years from now if this watch keeps taking a licking and keeps on ticking, right? But overall, really cool. I like when companies put technology in watches. I just wish I had more information for you guys on what automatic, or what, so used to automatics, for what solar-powered movement is in this thing. But if I find out, I'll put it in the comment section. If you guys have any questions, drop me a comment. I'll do my best to answer. And I want to thank Tsovet and Dartmouth for the generosity in sending this out to Fat Cat Collections. It's pretty cool to now have a solar watch in my collection. So thanks for watching. Have a great day and take care.